Between Dalton's mayor and the village's board of trustees after multiple members did not attend tonight's
I am about to address some things as the supervisor. There will be no comments, there will be anything. It will be me addressing you guys.
Tiffany Henyard's walls are closing in, and this time it's not just whispers or rumors behind closed doors in a twist reminiscent of a crime. The embattled mayor may finally meet her demise thanks to the release of thrilling, explosive footage. The worst part is that the shocking video was purportedly leaked by her own team, not by an outsider or sleaze journalist. Rumor has it that Henyard is losing control and going into panic mode. Is this the ultimate betrayal from within, or is this a case of karma finally catching up with her? Whatever the truth, it appears that Henyard's days of acting innocent are coming to an end. The mayor of Derma Queen, Dalton, is back at it. Henyard is obviously not backing down, but with everything against her, how much longer can she hold on? She chose to stir up chaos as if it were her favorite pastime, and with controversy already roiling around her, she decided to garner even more attention on what was supposed to be a quiet Tuesday night after the Board of Trustees meeting was canceled due to lack of attendance. Most people would have called it a day, but not Henyard, who waltzed in and boldly appointed a new village administrator and attorney, pushing the absent trustees to stop her from driving her point home.
Give 10 days of notice. 10 days of notice to the public. Certainly notice to the mayor. You know what they did? They didn't give you any notice at all.
The latest blow to Tiffany Henyard's fragile grip came from Illinois Attorney General Quanar's office, which declared that Dalton violated the Open Meetings Act not once but twice during their June and July meetings. Residents have been complaining that the Henyard's administration has turned Village Hall into a high-security fortress, locking entrances and making it seem like someone is trying to hold on to sand in a windstorm. Is it really her fault? Limiting seating and why, you ask? According to Henyard's team, it was all for security reasons. Apparently, a single sarcastic letter sent to Henyard's mother's house was sufficient to justify transforming the place into Fort Knox. Now, let's be clear that the letter, written in blue marker, wasn't exactly friendly, calling Henyard and her mother losers, which is harsh but hardly a credible threat. The worst part is that the Attorney General's office didn't even arrive until after 2 of those meetings had already taken place, and they saw through it, labeling the whole situation a major, excessive reaction without any basis. Less than 20 people attended this week's so-called meeting, suggesting that Tiffany is hoping her drama will keep her in power. Even her devoted fans may be losing interest in this never-ending soap opera, but Henyard simply cannot resist staying at the center of the chaos, even if it means breaking the law and creating a scene in a twist that no one saw coming. She chose to spice up her waning support by inviting a new village administrator and attorney to this week's meeting. For those who want a brief recap, the village administrator position was previously held by Keith Freeman, her former right-hand man. Indeed, it appears like Henyard is attempting to shuffle the deck and deal herself a new hand using the same Keith Freeman, who was aware of all her secrets and supported her until things went south. Her power eroding, she raised more eyebrows than she received support. Trusty, these last-minute visits seem more like a desperate attempt to gain control than a calculated approach. The appointments have already been deemed invalid by Jason House, who isn't buying it either. He claims that House made it clear that these appointments were as pointless as her promises were invalid, with no pay to follow. Despite this, Tiffany didn't back down at the meeting, doubling down in the face of mounting opposition. Just pay attention to who brings all the drama to your community. That's how you know everyone is plants in the audience. Additionally, even though Tiffany is making moves, it's beginning to look like her game is about to fold. In case you haven't noticed, Henyard's inner circle is rapidly shrinking, and Keith Freeman is caught in the middle of it. Word is that Henyard attempted to fire Freeman the moment she suspected he might be working with the FBI against her. Talk about a dramatic fallout. He said that she can't appoint one because Keith Freeman is still the village administrator. All of that was legal once she didn't have a quorum, and the meeting should have been adjourned. Legal matters despite all the filthy work he had done for her over the years, Henyard quickly turned against him when things became out of control. Freeman has been the target of numerous lawsuits, including allegations of unlawful retaliation against workers who claim they were fired from Dalton and Thornton Township in April for not supporting Henyard. According to a federal indictment, Freeman was even charged with bankruptcy fraud for allegedly making false statements in his petition to conceal assets and sources of income. The Human Resources Department subsequently sent an email about the charges, informing Freeman that his wrongdoing is unacceptable because of his high-ranking position within the township and that it hinders the efficient operation of the township. You'd think that Freeman's erstwhile ally, Henyard, would give him a lifeline, but as rumors circulated that he was speaking with federal investigators, his legal issues worsened, including a bankruptcy fraud accusation for allegedly hiding assets. Despite her efforts to remove Freeman from his township role, the Board of Trustees wasn't on board. Chris Gonzalez, a trustee, pointed out that the board hadn't even been officially informed about Freeman's firing, saying that a promotion, if that's what it would be, should come through the board, and I haven't seen anything. No, she immediately distanced herself from herself in an attempt to end their relationship before it got any messier.
Right?
That's correct. We spoke with one of the plaintiffs who says that she was fired for not being a yes man, for not following the mayor's orders.
While this is going on, Trustee Jason House indicated that there is now a clear separation between Freeman and Henyard. Despite Henyard's best attempts to make Freeman leave, he is still serving as the village administrator. It appears that Keith was luckier than many of the employees Tiffany had fired in the past. She is now facing the consequences after 3 of those former employees filed lawsuits against her. Additionally, there are rumors that Freeman has been working with federal investigators, and there is a rumor that Keith has actual proof of Tiffany's corruption. Henyard apparently wanted to fire him like a hot potato because of a deal with the feds, but the board is now supporting Freeman. This conflict is far from over, especially after Henyard performed that recent appointment trick during the meeting. But Tiffany's plans to fire him appear to be on wait for the time being. When the Board of Trustees failed to attend a town meeting the other day, Henyard proceeded to run the organization alone as if the board's absence didn't matter at all. Speaking of meetings, this isn't the first time Tiffany has dictated how things are managed.
Sir Tiffany Henyard wanted the Board of Trustees to approve some events that she wants the township to pay for, but none of the trustees showed up for this special meeting tonight.
But Tiffany, who is as unabashedly strong as ever, didn't let the board rejection bother her. Oh no, she mounted the stage and turned the whole corruption story into her own soap opera, saying it was all a big propaganda ploy to damage her reputation. Oh so Glorious Reign said, "This is me making my statement. If you guys don't want to hear this, there's the door. This isn't a question. Rather, it's me letting the locals know what's happening in Thornton Township." However, the town's residents were tired of Tiffany's antics, so one attendee bravely stated the residents' concerns. Tiffany kept on with her UNFA speech, stating, "That's what all the hate is about. Your super mayor became too powerful too quickly. I'm so rare. I'm so unique. And that's why everyone's got problems." Tiffany already knew you were stealing from them, but that didn't disturb her in the least. As she tries to balance her dual roles as mayor, the town is talking about Tiffany's outrageous misuse of township and Dalton funds. Just a few weeks ago, the Diane investigators revealed the extent of her spending spree after legal wrangling to obtain her credit card. Let's face it, Tiffany's problems go far beyond bad PR and are rooted in seriously shady spending habits. Data that showed Henyard and her entourage blew through Thornton Township's budget a staggering $67,000 in travel expenses in just 5 months. If that wasn't surprising enough, the figure skyrockets to over $100,000 when you include in the fees she charged Dalton taxpayers. What justification does she have for these ridiculous costs? Some people think that Tiffany's recent actions, like hiring a new village attorney, may be an attempt to include a criminal defense counsel in the mix. She claims that she and her pals were attending seminars throughout that time. Behind the pretense of all this drama, paving her way out of the mess she's made is a chess move. Henyard has appointed a criminal lawyer who will be paid to represent the village and take care of Henyard. The village will cover his legal fees to defend Henyard, as the previous lawyer resigned for non-payment. We'll see how this plays out. In her most recent meeting, Tiffany Henyard boldly claimed that she had cleaned up the town despite the serious allegations that were being made against her. It appears that she has completely lost touch with reality. I would think that the village charter requires the trustees to approve the appointments honestly at this point. Continue by saying, if you do your research on everyone, you'll understand the battle and why things are the way they are, because when we took over, we cleaned up the village of Dolton. By this, I mean that when we had a complaint, I told them to make sure to take care of the inhabitants. Tiffany Henyard's tenure as mayor has been nothing short of a tornado, with lawsuits and legal drama piling up faster than poker chips. It seems like her administration is at the center of a new controversy every day, from firing employees left and right to favoring local businesses. It feels like Henyard has a lawsuit for every time. For instance, a local barbershop owner accused Henyard's crew of giving him the old-fashioned small-town run-around and locking his business license for reasons that seemed a bit too convenient. Then, in 2023, Dwayne Thrash, a former maintenance manager, revealed that one of Henyard's inner circle tried to enlist him in a shady plot to replace the school board's attorney with one of their own favorites. When Thrash refused, things swiftly went south, and he was fired while on an authority. Since Henyard became mayor of the village of Dolton and supervisor of Thornton Township, she and her closest allies in the village and Thornton Township, including Freeman, have fired a number of people they believe pose a political threat to Henyard and her public image. By defying their wishes, he has demanded that they clear his record and compensate him for his wrongful termination. He is also making some serious accusations that Henyard violated his constitutional rights. It's not just Dwayne Thrash who is speaking out against Dolton's dictator mayor, Tiffany. Henyard recently received a serious blow from an unexpected source. Carmen Carlazzo, a trustee on the Thornton Township board and one of her alleged allies, who everyone believed was firmly on Henyard's side, abruptly changed the course of events by accusing the 41-year-old self-proclaimed super mayor of inappropriate and unethical behavior in an attempt to increase her influence. It appears that even the super mayor couldn't buy her way out of this situation, trustee, as the drama broke out just as Henyard was already knee-deep in fraud suspicions and under fire for her dubious spending habits. Henyard was left reeling after Carmen Carlisle's treachery at the worst conceivable moment. Today, Carla said, "I'm speaking out against Thornton Township Supervisor and Mayor Tiffany Henyard because I believe she has acted unethically and predatorily during her tenure. Over the past 2 years, Henyard has used her position to increase her influence by manipulating employees, vendors, and residents while presenting a false image of success funded by the diligent taxpayers of Thornton Township and the village of Dolton. Because she trusted the administration, the whistleblower said that she had kept quiet about Henyard's lavish travels and reckless spending during recent board meetings. But now that trust has been destroyed, I'm standing up not only for myself, but also for others who have been impacted by Henyard's leadership. I think there are a lot more victims who have been retaliated against, fired, or misled by Henyard, but haven't spoken out yet," she said. Yes, Carmen Carlisle may have taken her time listening to her conscience, but who could blame her? Henyard supposedly had her own small squad of police loyalists on staff, ready to quiet anyone who dared to defy her with that kind of threat, and she'd appeared to have the law firmly in her pocket as she maxed out credit cards like there was no tomorrow. Strength behind her, it's understandable why people were reluctant to speak up. Fans are now mocking Henyard, calling this whole situation a train wreck and claiming that it will only be a matter of time before she is indicted. One person wrote, "It's mind-boggling that she can live in this alternate world she's created." Another said, "I just hope she gets removed from office, then arrested, then sent to prison, and loses all these lawsuits." Henyard retaliated against her former faithful trustee, demonstrating that she was not going to take the betrayal lying down. A new moniker and pointing the finger at everyone else for the mess. It was the traditional Henyard deflect, divert, and spill the drama. I believe I'm going to get you a new moniker. The Lion Carlisle. I'm sick of everyone in here. There's always a show at the end of the day. You were on this board, and we never discussed this, so you should have been expending the same amount of energy when you were silent a year or so ago. Did you notice that Henyard may have hinted at some foul play? Her insinuation is significant, especially given how silent she has been about the entire case, even refusing to speak to the media. The curtain was pulled back on Henyard's dubious conduct as soon as he began placing the responsibility on Carmen for not performing her job effectively. Her lawyer was present, and I didn't raise any doubts since I trusted the administration and the procedure. Carmen disclosed the moment I lost faith in the process, so I began to ask questions. I worked as your assistant, so I saw and heard a lot. The first time I seriously considered not supporting you was when you claimed on a national platform that you knew nothing about a foundation, but you forgot that I was present when certain events occurred and that you were dishonest about that foundation. You showed up at my house without warning and tried to convince me that someone else started it when they didn't. The truth is that Tiffany wasn't doing much for the community, and the rumors about her incompetence spread like wildfire. Instead of addressing the problem, she chose to shame the media for not covering her favorably. And no, that's not hyperbole. I would appreciate it if people stopped writing bad things about the township and instead concentrated on the positive things we do. Write the truth, not the mess and gossip. That's just childish. The one who would do the work, take the lashes, and endure the consequences is the one God puts in charge of. God never makes errors. Strength to continue. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and check back for more likes. Despite what some people say, Tiffany has been riding high ever since she took office, but it's obvious that she won't be able to do so for much longer now that everything is falling apart around her. Until we meet again, thanks for watching Visual Vortex.